Okay, Ryan, today I'm going to show you how to bind off a project and weave in the ends properly so that your piece doesn't come undone. So for this, I'm using my single crochet sample, and we're just going to bind off by first working our last stitch. I left this one so I could show you, but just insert the hook, and right now I'm just working my single crochet. Okay, so finish your stitch, and now to bind off, we're going to chain one. So create a chain. And then now, instead of pulling it all the way through, we're going to cut the yarn, leaving a little bit of tail. So let's cut it about here. And then just pull the rest of this tail through. Okay, and that is how you bind off. I can just tug on the end of this to tighten it. And that is secure. You don't need to make a knot. A lot of beginners think you need to add another knot, like just like this, like a half knot, to close it off, but you really don't. This is secure. So to bind off, which we've already done that, we're going to have this tail left over now. So to deal with that tail and kind of hide it and tuck it into all your work, you're going to need a yarn needle. This is also called a tapestry needle, and this is the jumbo size. You're just going to use that to get it, thread your yarn through it. There you go. And we're going to weave this into the piece so that it doesn't come undone. There are a lot of ways that people do this, but for me it's easiest to first just go down through your most recent stitch. You can go down further if you'd like, but that first stitch really is good. And then weave your needle in and out of the stitches, going up and down between the rows. We're going to go down here, and then we're going to go back up in a different spot, like over here. We're going to do this a couple of times, and then I like to just insert my needle horizontally back, like not through the same stitch that we just put our yarn through, but like maybe one stitch below it, and then through the stitches that we've already done. Try not to split the yarn and go in between the layers of the yarn, but if you want, it does hold it more securely. I just don't really like the look of it ripping through the stitches really. So just go in through again and pull your needle through. Okay, now you can take your needle off that little piece of yarn, and now we've wrapped it all in and weaved it in very securely, so it's not going to unravel and come undone from there. So you can take your scissors now and just trim off this little bit of excess. Get as close to the base of it as possible without actually cutting like the work that we've already done, without cutting the finished stitches. Just get as close as you can and just snip that end off. Okay, now you can see that the ends are weaved in, there's nothing loose here, and you have a nice finished seam at the end, or finished corner. You can also do that to the beginning spot where you cast it on and you left the tail in the beginning. You do it exactly the same way. Just thread your tail through a tapestry needle, and then go into one stitch, the previous row, just go into one loop. Here, go down two if you'd like. Let's do two here. And then just weave your yarn going up and down between the stitches. Making sure to secure it firmly in place. Then go back through, go through another stitch, and take off the needle and just trim that. Now here is your finished piece with no loose ends and nothing hanging out. And it's all neat and clean, exactly how you'd want it to be.